Hi, everybody. Namaste. So, on Thursday session on the 12th, I said I'd pick some cards and that I would add them in at the end, and I didn't get to. And so I've kept them here for us until I was able to do it. So it's Tuesday now, the 17th. So I'm going to just call them out to you as to what briefly came up. And then I'm just going to do some for today as an overall of the rest of August, just to try and help us as a collective, a bit of extra energy. And just some focus, and just so that you can see what you're feeling into and how you resonate. So okay, so what we had from our session, turning them over, so the collective, the energy, because everything that I do is about the collective energy, as you're aware. So that's therefore what this will be. So um, coming through is the collective vibration of viewing our physical. So what do we have? What is our value, I guess? And it's come through on a strength of solid energy. So it's very much about building the foundation. And I think and it's very much the divine feminine as well. So I think really we can all feel into that at the moment as to those kind of fight or flight or survival that the collective is feeling. On more of a spiritual level, observing the physical, feels a bit more resourceful. So most of us are starting to grow much more veg than we had. We are maybe looking at as a collective more ways of natural remedies, and some of that is forced because doctors and things are not as available. Some of that is because people want to take back control of their well-being. For me personally, it's been my path for the last 20 years as an aromatherapist. However, I have revisited that much more in the last 4 to 5 years again, just for personal health and things. So I think whatever that pivotal point is that sends us back into that natural being, that's what this card is bringing. And then we've got the walking away from things that don't resonate. So it's firstly showing a little bit of that panic energy of everything coming down, but then it's that almost looking at everything that is there that is strong. So not everything will come down. So the old paradigm is the energy that I get from this. It's coming down. It's coming up on a 5 as well. So that is very much about this year, isn't it? And it feels very emotional. So it feels like the emotional feelings of us as the collective is bringing this energy to fall, if you like, what we're feeling into. And with this is that ability to go inwards, to observe what that is, and to observe how this reflects from ourselves, how this reflects to the collective, and for us to really focus on that emotional strength that we've got within, because we on another level know that we've called this all in to be a very positive form of ascension, transition. Those of us that have talked about this for a long time, it's not a shock or a surprise, it's just a vehicle. So when we look into that energy, that beautiful, positive, amazing energy, which supports the collective, that supports the creating the new energy, then that's where that comes from. But I did say, not last year, the year before, I think, that even though this old paradigm is going to collapse, even though you know it, you still have to grieve it. So I feel that that energy is coming in now as well for the collective. So maybe you've got there a little bit before. Maybe this is the feeling that you're feeling again, and that can be confusing because that isn't truly how you feel because you're so focused on the new. So this is very much about that feeling, that grieving the old on the emotional level, even though we don't want it, and as that old paradigm's coming down. And it comes in with the divine feminine now as well, of speaking our truth and not just cutting through everything. So the words are very much of empowerment, but it's that focus, that ability to go forward. So not suffering fools gladly, trying to do everything with kindness, but also just having boundaries and not taking the battering that a lot of people will want you to take as an empath as this is coming down. So a lot of blame will be out there, and that will come from fear-based, conforming, looking at you maybe if you're not conforming. Why should they? Why shouldn't you? And then that goes into the them and the us and the divide and that energy. So you won't want to facilitate any of that. So that word, that truth, that strength, that positive energy of what we're creating, um, eliminates that. And that lovely saying of, others, there are no others because we are oneness. So that brings in that, but there's a very much strength, clarity of knowing, of wisdom, and embodying that energy, whether you're male or female, and taking that through. Next to that, we have the sage, and the sage comes up as a very creative energy and a new beginning. So I feel like this is the wisdom within each of us now to trust and go into maybe more of that ancient knowledge. So that will reflect again, as we said, of the remedies and the growing of the health, the well-being, that total reality check of what we're creating. So for those of you known for over a year now, been creating and helping the space for us to go forward in the new ways of education and well-being, and people of awakened vibrations. So that only means people that have that awareness to create. We're not still looking at the old. And I think that's where this energy comes in for you and all of us, that this wisdom, this creating, this action, this actively participating, this taking responsibility for our part in the collective energy. This card is very apparent. And then with that, we do have the form of destruction that's coming down. So some people would look at that as the Tower card. The Tower card for me is a hugely positive card because it's very much about letting go of everything that no longer serves you. So whilst that can be challenging, whilst that can feel a little bit raw, I remember in my early days, I might have found this a lot more challenging than now. I celebrate it because I recognize everything that comes in as a challenge allows us to grow even more. So on a collective vibration, this again brings in a new beginning, destiny, because it's coming in on a 1. I've got an 8 energy here. So it's a new beginning. It's a definite new way forward. It's the independence, but yet independence as one. So a unity comes on strength, focus, infinity, that real solid energy of that focus of knowing. So again, that's in August. So that's that no matter what appears to be coming down, actually what we're creating comes from that. So that energy is beautiful. And there's an energy here of freedom. So it's coming in as the full energy of that carefree, that freedom, that free will. And no, I've got coming in with this. So that creative energy, and I've got the home that's coming in. So I feel like we're building the resources here, following our beliefs, doing everything. It can be a little bit insular into our home, making sure our home is okay, where we live, what we're positioning. Again, some of that is fear-based and some of it is just focusing on opening that up to others. So that depends what that is for you. But knowing that it will be okay, and that it's not going to look like how we imagine. That's the thing. So we've got to be a little bit more carefree. I think we've got to look at the next form of ascension that will come, about ownership and what's mine and what's yours and what's everybody else's. In fact, it's just all of ours. So that's going to push all of our buttons on the collective as we move forward into that energy. And it's not right now, but it's giving us the scope to come into our energy, to understand it and to be aware of it, and to see it as a positive thing. We can't create, I've said so many times, we cannot create this vision and this new world based on our physical material requirements that we have at the moment. It's far beyond that. And I think that insight for me came from spending so much time in India, because the reality of that is there. And the other thing that I learned from being there so often is the skill set, the skill share that is there. There's many old skills that are still very, very used today, that we tend to have lost here and handed over to major companies. So I think that's another reminder of that, bringing back that sage, that wisdom, and what we need to do. I just had a feeling partway through this that I need to put this out on my other social page, so I will also do that, so it won't just be for the Awakened Inner Circle. So let's just do the general for now, just to bring this into the conclusion. Yeah, okay. So this is, there's a lot of people feeling this because I'm getting a lot of people come in from this. So that tiring energy of battling with people, of some kind of conflict, I suppose, but that awareness of feeling like you're winning more battles than you're losing. But again, it's about this 5 energy. So it's about balancing the spiritual and the material. And it's about literally, that's been going on for some time. So it can be tiring. And there's a lot of people that are not able to recoup and heal at the level they need to at the moment. This could be you, and it could be general people you know. It could be exhausting in you trying to help this shift in this transition. But there's definitely sleepless nights that come in here. And a lot of it is through thought. So what I would say is, if you have for some reason walked away or stepped out of meditation at the moment, this is your cue to come back to it. Take back control of your thoughts, your feelings. Obviously allowing that busy mind, that monkey mind, that cheetah to release, because what's happening is real steady progress. So there's real strength, there's real progress coming. The material that's being built, I feel, is just completely solid, but not in the linear way, not in the material way that we've had. It's coming in a much more solid energy as us together as one. So we're creating something much more advanced, if you like, although it will feel much more basic, because our awareness is able, we're moving forward into communicating differently through our energy, through telepathy. Maybe things that we've done, some of us, for a long time, reading intuitively or psychically, is, I feel, that will just become the normal very soon. So that's really lovely. The other side of this is those around that are acting quite harsh or brash, or coming in, or causing reactions, and whether that is through their beliefs, through their triggering, through what's unhealed parts of people. That's shown in different ways here. We've got the 2 sides here. We've got the one that just is silence, and it's not silence, it's avoidance. And then we've got the one that's brash and coming in and really kind of just no thought at all, just unloading. So that's a reaction, not a responding. So just being aware of where you sit with that. It could be you flipping to both of those things. It could be that energy around you that is flipping like that all the time, and you're feeling, and the collective is making you tired, and you know you're making steady progress. You know we are making steady progress, but that can just be too much. The great thing in here is just to share, I don't think you can see it in the light, can't see it, is the wheel of turning. So I feel that cycle is turning. August is very much about the focus on the time out, the creative energy that we do want. I won't go into the moons and things and everything here, but it's the focus, the clarity, the time out to really gather ourselves together and what it is we want to do and how we want to go forward. And this just comes up as clarity all round. It's just this is what we're all doing right now. We're gathering our resources. Yes, we are right now assisting everything to change, to turn. It's about coming together. It's about building relationships, and that won't feel like it from that energy before. This is the flip side of this. The flip side is we're seeing everything. It feels like it's just people aren't getting on, but the flip side is this wheel is turning, and everything is about coming together, doing stuff together. Relationships, the 6 energy, a beautiful unity forming, and that is now. So that's the solid foundation. We're gathering our resources, and yes, that is happening now. Yes, we're questioning everything, whether that's for ourselves, together, collectively, into this new beginning. And I do hope that I can show you this card, because it's a really lovely card. And the final part of this energy now that we're currently living is union. The two emotions coming together. So no matter where you are, what you're believing, what you're thinking, what your reality is, that shows at least the emotional ability at this time coming soon towards the end of the month to start to bring those energies together, a bit more of a synergy, a bit more of a unity, because it's understanding on some level that flow of oneness. So for me, the more that we've moved into looking at what unity is, the greater the gap oneness is. And again, in my teachings for about this, it's there's a huge difference between the two, and we have to just maybe take away from this as well that unity is not just people getting on and social interaction. It's way beyond that, and what we're receiving and what we're giving, and that balance of everything that comes in is feeling that on an empathic level, and it comes to the next level of ascension, really, of creating this whole totally new world, not from the perception we are. And it goes into more of that equilibrium and that sharing, and that total new way of creating this new world. And that is a totally different reality than what we're living now. So when we celebrate that and we know that, there's a question I've asked all these years in the end of my awaken and healing program of, what is it that you are giving out to the world when people voice things that are happening as a negative? And be very mindful of that, because that is something that we give back to. We see this is the new world being created. If we focus on the new world and we bring all of that energy in, then that's a really beautiful thing to align to. So to whoever sees this, whoever's meant to see this, sending you lots of love. It's just an extra thing I've just done for today. It felt right. Namaste. Take care.